Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be back with you here this afternoon. It's funny, it feels like I was just standing around here about 10 hours ago. I was with the morning update, but I've got to come back with a special update here this afternoon because we've just heard from my good friend Tucker McCombs up there on board the Endeavor. 24 anglers, 24 white sea bass, 3 of those fish in the 50 to 60 pound class. Wow, that bite up there is really starting to take off, and it looks so good right now. This kind of all got started yesterday when Sean Stewart had that magnificent 62.8 pound white sea bass. He had 9 fish. He had a couple of other fish in the 50 pound class, and we surmised last night and this morning that we thought that we might see more of that today, and we got lucky and definitely got to see it. This week is showing a great deal of promise. If the wind stays away, I think we're going to see more outstanding white sea bass catches. There's other guys with some catches also, but Tucker got that info in. And take a look at some of these magnificent fish. There they are. They are absolutely gorgeous, big, fat WSBs on the chew up there in the Channel Islands, and I couldn't be more happy about the fact that we've got our special Friedman Adventures trip departing Wednesday night out of Ventura Sportfishing with Tucker on board the Endeavor. So that should be really a lot of fun. Now, some of you may want to grab a notebook and take copious notes right now, because you may think it's an accident that I chartered the boat for this day, that I picked this week to be an outstanding week in white sea bass fishing in the Channel Islands. You might think so, but I've been doing this for 50 years. And let me tell you something. You have to really know what you're doing. So if you want to take notes on exactly how I came up with this date, let me share that with you right now. So when you're getting ready to charter a boat, you might be able to do exactly as I have done. So I called Ventura Sportfishing and I talked to Tucker's wife, Brittany, and I said, Brittany, ask Tucker what he thinks would be a really good date for our charter, the Friedman Adventures charter. And Tucker said April 27th. So there you have it. That's exactly what I did. Tucker picked this date. Tucker kind of looked at this week, and I'll tell you, this just goes to that whole notion about talk to the crew, ask the guys who are out there day in and day out. Not some dummy doing a podcast, but the guys, the crew members, the hardworking men and women of the SoCal sport fishing fleet. They are really outstanding. You know, when you're on the water, when I was a commercial guy and I was fishing every day out in Tanner Bank, you just get a feel for it. You get a second sense. You know when they're going to bite. You know when they're not going to bite. You just get this extra sense. And Tucker and Sean Stewart and all these guys up there definitely have that. Now, the Endeavor is chartered tonight, but the Pacific Dawn has some openings. You can get on that one. We are sold out, of course, on our charter Wednesday night. Really looking forward to that. I mentioned the guys who are on that trip that don't worry about a snack for the night that we depart. I've got you covered there. We're going to have a little deli spread and some snacks out there. So if you're running late, don't worry about it. We'll have you covered on that. And I'm really looking forward to getting out there and shooting a video with Tucker and chronicling what we hope will be some good sea bass fishing. Again, weather, that's the most important thing that we have to buck up against right now. Fish are biting the heavy for the most part, 40 pound test, and you're going to need it on some of these fish that exceed 60 pounds. And something tells me we're going to see a 70 pounder here this week. I mean, there are so many big fat fish in this area that it is truly exciting. Now, remember what happened, and we've been talking about for quite some time. We've been talking about that biomass of squid moving from its location last year in Monterey, moving down to the Channel Islands. And also here, you can't see it, but I'm pointing out at Catalina Islet, more so up there in the Channel Islands. The Channel Islands has been the epicenter of fabulous white sea bass fishing for the last several years. We kind of think that's going to sneak into Santa Barbara and Catalina, but for now, man, what a bite we've seen up there in that neck of the woods. And I'm sorry, don't let me leave out San Clemente Island. I mean, Tino was just there on board the Freedom and had 10 white sea bass along with 14 yellowtail. That biomass of squid is a magnet. It attracts game fish, and it moved this way this year because the colder water moved this way. We're still looking at a La Nina, which predicts more colder water than we've seen. And different species prefer different types of water. Sea bass, that Market squid, they like that cooler water. We're starting to see evidence of it right now. The bite will even get better, however, once you get up consistently over that 60-degree mark. And when you get in that 63, 65-degree mark, those sea bass really like to chew. So once again, I'm going to bring some sliding egg sinkers if you end up in the shallows, some torpedo sinkers, 3/0 to 5/0 size hooks should do you fine. There seems to be enough squid up there for bait. That doesn't seem to be a problem. There's not what we would call commercial spots of squid, but there's plenty for bait right now, and that's all that counts at this point in time. In fact, sometimes guys believe that when it whittles down a little bit, the amount of squid in the environment, that they're going to bite something with a hook in it more readily, and we certainly are seeing that. So a tremendous day today on board the Endeavor out of Ventura Sportfishing. So stoked for all the guys up there that were on that trip. Really, really happy for you. And once again, Tucker McCombs, Brittany McCombs, they do such a great job at Ventura Sportfishing. I doubt very seriously that it's going to last too much longer, the spots that are available on the Pacific Dawn, but I highly recommend you give Ventura Sportfishing a call right now, 805-676-3474. And if you can't get on tonight, maybe make plans to get on a future trip while this bite is on. All right, so a special update. Really looking fantastic right now. Wednesday night, we have our Friedman Adventures trip, but I'll be back at you with more updates if you need them. And of course, I'll be here with the morning briefing just about every single day. I just spent the morning, by the way, with Sam De La Torre and his two kids, great kids, by the way, and also Danny from the 540 Slingers Club and Jeff Yeomans. And we were over at the venue that we will have that jig workshop for you on May the 15th, and it looks great. That's going to be a fun day. Remember, that's going to be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on May the 15th. Can't wait to see you there for that one. And then also, right afterwards, we'll go to Scholb in Long Beach, where my good friend Chef Jason is preparing a wonderful day for us. We'll be live streaming from Jason's place. We'll be having raffles, and we're just going to have a really great time. Good place for you to come by. If you drink beer, have a beer. If you drink coffee, there's a coffee maker there, and we can talk fishing and have a really great time. Ventura Sportfishing, Endeavor, limits a big white sea bass. 3 of those fish in the 50 to 60 pound class. Doesn't get much better than that. Take care. We'll see you soon, my friend.